Hi everyone, it's Mariah Rossel with Healing the Betrayed Soul. I hope you're having a great evening. I wanted to reflect on something that came to me during my morning meditation yesterday. And in this case, when I'm using the word medicine, I'm talking about things that we will often call medicines, like feathers or stones or plants, pipes, anything like that. And the big message that came through to me is this idea that the medicine, whatever it is that we're calling medicine, is not the medicine. The medicine, these things, these physical, tangible objects, are not actually the medicine. What they are is they are a conduit that help us to see and to understand the truth. Once we are able to see and understand that truth, then that also, the truth is also still not the medicine. That is now the catalyst for us to choose to take action. And when we now have that catalyst to take action, that is what's going to help us create a relationship with our own inner healer. And with that relationship with our own inner healer is where we are going to actually be able to do the work and do our healing work. And that is where the medicine itself is. If we keep having these attachments to all of these medicines, our fans and our feathers and our crystals and our pipes and all of these magical things, they're very important. And what they do is they help to put us in a state of clarification where we are able to see the truth. And so I'm not saying that they're not important to the practice, but when we have the limitation of identifying that item as being the medicine rather than our own inner healer, then what we do is we give away our power. We become disempowered. And we, instead of saying that I have the power to heal myself or I have this inner strength, instead I'm attributing that to this specific item that I've created a relationship with. And this relationship is deep and powerful and super important, right? But I'm taking away my own power by attributing it to that specific item. And the other thing that this does, if we start to look at the world on a multidimensional level, and so I think most people can easily grasp the fact that we live in a four-dimensional reality. We have length, width, height, and time, right? And with 3.5, because generally people see that we only go in time forward. We don't go in time backwards, right? But if we want to start to get to these higher dimensions, these higher levels of consciousness, these higher levels of thinking, then by having this ongoing attachment to these medicines, which are of the earth, but they're not just of the earth, because the physical thing, the thing that's in the gross body, the thing that we're holding in our hands is of this earth. But what we have to do is really look past what is of this earth and into the channel or the conduit or the path, however you want to look at it, that allows that specific item to help us, one, see ourselves and our own inner healer. But then two, we have to look and say, how is this path connecting us to these higher realms, to, 6th, 7th, 8th dimensional existence? And from that place, we can then go up in our levels of consciousness, tap into these higher dimensions, and this is where the infinite multiverse exists. This is where there's infinite possibilities. And I know we often talk about infinite possibilities. It's really hard to actually make infinite possibilities and instantaneous manifestation when we're living in a 3.5 or 4-dimensional reality. What we actually have to do is we have to tap into those higher dimensions and then see what that vision is, see what that reality is, collapse the wave function at that dimension, and then pull that dimension back into our reality. And that's the beautiful thing of these physical things, these gifts from the earth. All of these medicines from the earth are very valuable, because if we continue to just live in a world where we're living in the stars, living in the visions, that world is when we start to do spiritual bypassing. It's when we start to be dreamers. It's when we start to imagine a lot. We have a lot of fun in our heads, but we're not actually grounding and manifesting with that. And so we have to go up into those higher dimensions, collapse that wave function of reality, and then use that connection to the earth, whether that just is our own relationship with the earth, with Mother Earth, or whether that's through one of those medicines that I was talking about before, whether it's a physical representation of the earth. And that's how we can then bring that energetic harmonic vibration down in from all those higher dimensions back down into the gross dimensional reality where we live. And that is the key to actually beginning to manifest those things, is that we learn it and then we bring it down into this gross reality. And so I just really wanted to share that with you. It was really profound for me, because for so many years I've been struggling with this. I have all these beautiful medicines that I have gotten the honor to carry, and I know a number of you do too. And it's beautiful, right? But when we start to look at the physical object, and while those physical objects do carry the resonances of these higher dimensions, that is the medicine too, right? It's not the stone, it's not the pipe, it's not the feather. It's what harmonic that specific physical thing has that allows us to see truth, that allows us to tap into those vibrations and those resonances of healing. And that is where we really create the magic. And so when we start to get attached to those physical representations, that's also a place where we can potentially fall into a trap, because it's like, oh, well, without X, Y, or Z thing, then I can't have the healing, or then I can't see the truth, or whatever. So that's where we personally disempower ourselves. But the physical energy within these objects that we're actually attracting can be attracted and called upon when we know its name, when we know its harmonic, when we know its vibration, without it physically being tangibly within our touch. And that is a huge piece of information too, because I've seen so many people that are like, oh, well, I forgot my sacred object, I forgot my medicine, I forgot whatever it is that I carry. Okay, but you forgot the physical symbol. You forgot the physical gross body representation. But the actual power within that object is something that, if it is truly your medicine, if it's truly something that you are aligned with in a healing way, that you are able to call upon to find that truth in order to go up and find the highest resonance that needs to be brought forth in manifestation and in healing in the present moment. And that's how you tap into your healer. So thank you, everybody. A bunch of people joined on. So thank you, everybody, for joining. If you like this, please click the like button, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. This is not something I really analytically thought about, but it was one of those things that came to me, in my morning prayer practice. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it. And if you're watching the replay, say hi. I'd love to see who all hopped on and joined me. So have a lovely evening. Have a great day, guys. Oh, and I also wrote a blog on this yesterday, because I was going to do this yesterday and there was the hailstorm and it was too loud to do a video. So I will post the blog in the comments below. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.